Bon dia, good morning guys. Welcome back to this week's video. We are back in the garden. We've spent some time over the last few days working on the garden structure and it's really starting to come together now. We've built a new bed here that we are planting potatoes in. Jack is going through what I think is called a sleep regression and he woke up almost every hour last night, so if I'm a bit frazzled and not making much sense, that is why. I'm very tired, but I think it's good to get out and move around and get some fresh air and sunshine. It's a beautiful sunny day here today. It's been quite chilly at night. My friends told me there's a Portuguese saying for March, something like Marçal, amanhã de invernal, à tarde de verão. I probably absolutely butchered that, but basically it's in March the mornings are like the winter and the afternoons are like the summer, and that really feels like what the weather has been like. You know, we kind of bundle up in the morning with a couple of jumpers and leggings on under my jeans, and then you slowly release a layer throughout the day and then can end up being a bit sweaty in a t-shirt by the afternoon. And then it gets cold again at night. Yeah, it's funny weather. I need to water the garden actually because it's been very dry, so I need to get that set up today. I've still got two beds that need filling up with compost. These raised beds have done really well. We were worried when we first got them that with the heat of the summer they would dry out very quickly, but comparative to the beds in the ground, these do so much better. So that's why we've kind of built up a bit of a wall around this one so that we can start at what I think it is basically building up the soil layer, so we're able to contain putting big bags of compost in these, whereas in the garden beds on the ground it kind of gets spread out more easily. And that is why we have also been doing these wood chip paths, because the thing that's most important, and I'm sure most gardeners know this, is the quality of your soil, and we spend so much every year on bags of compost. We have a small compost bin that we put all our food waste in, but it's not enough really to fill these beds. I need to get better at building compost beds, but the idea with this is that over the year we'll walk around on all of this, it'll start breaking down, and then this time next year when we've got all the cuttings to chip again, we can put all this into the beds and chip all the prunings we'll have from the vines and the olives and pear trees, and can then rebuild the paths and see if that works. The other thing, and I'm going to do this morning as well, is I've been using our lawnmower because it has a bag that holds the grass in it, so I can collect the cut grass, and I'm putting that on the potatoes and seeing how that goes. What we're trying to do more of this year is build up the soil using freer resources from the land. So I think I'll go cut the grass now. So it's not the most ideal time of day to be watering the garden on a sunny day like today. Sorry about all the background noise. They're cutting down all the eucalyptus trees after the storms and the trees fell down. They seem to be on a mission to remove all the big mimosa, pine and eucalyptus, which is amazing. The eucalyptus are like giants back there, so it's really changing the landscape. Anyway, that's what the background noise is, going off on a tangent. But yeah, it's not ideal to water the garden late morning on a sunny day, but these are the plug plants I planted with my nieces in the last video, and yeah, they're just looking a bit dry. I don't think they'd make it through another day, so I'm doing that now. But then the plan is to set up the automated sprinkler system so that it can be watered in the evening, which is a much better time to water the garden, so the water has time to all soak in overnight and not evaporate in the sun. But yeah, I'm just hand watering in these little baby plants. So these are a load of brassicas that my mum planted when she was here. What's really nice about the garden this year is it's all been planted by different members of our family, so it feels like a very special garden this year. But I wanted to show you how well these ones are all doing. They're planted more closely together than I would normally plant, and I think they've actually really enjoyed that. Sometimes crowding them together almost protects them, protects the soil so moisture stays in better, they're better protected from the wind. And I do think this bed gets a little bit of shade from the olive tree, so it gets less harsh sunlight. But it's been really interesting because my mum planted them all at the same time but in different parts of the garden, how differently they are growing. So there are some in this bed behind me that aren't growing as big, and I'm wondering if they're getting too much shade. And then there are some over in the ground, and again, this is showing the difference that having the raised beds is making here. I think as well, just because we are putting better soil into them because it's more contained. This isn't an ad for these beds. I will leave a link in the description for them because we do get asked about them and we have worked with them previously. This is Vegigar beds, but I'm just sharing because they have worked really well for us. And I think we would actually like to get a few more. And like I said, we're kind of building up the edges of the ground beds so that we can raise the soil level over time. But I'll show you the ones in the ground that are just so significantly smaller than these ones. I'm really surprised by quite the contrast. So these are in the ground beds. We have put some compost down, but it's just crazy how small they are. Yeah, I don't know if these are getting too much sun, whether it's the ground soil or what, but yeah, I would like to add about this much soil level to these beds by building up the edges of them, and yeah, we'll do that over time because this would take probably just a small area 3 of the bags of compost, which are about €8 each, so that is adding a big cost to growing our own food. So I really want to start doing what I've been doing with the grass cuttings and the wood chip, and we do have a compost bin here that I might open up and see how that's doing and whether I can chuck that in. So yeah, this is the compost bed I have here just for putting weeds in, and I'm not very good at making compost. I need to put more effort into the layering and keeping it wet, I think, but it's on my to learn list to get better at because it makes so much difference to what we're growing. Also behind me you can see in the skyline the huge eucalyptus trees. They are so tall and they've already taken down quite a lot, and it's going to be really interesting to see how different it's going to look they're just magnificent. I know they're not supposed to be here, and all the native trees, like we have quite a few big cork oaks around us, but they must be, I don't know, is that 40 metres tall? Yeah, it's really interesting seeing them come down. And reassuring because they are not good trees to have here with the fires. So yeah, lots of changes to the tree line around here at the moment. Still can't believe they took all the mimosa trees down. Right, what shall I do next? I think I'll water these little cabbages too. This video is in collaboration with Bluetti. If you're a regular viewer of our channel, you'll know that we love Bluetti. Our whole off-grid home is powered by them, and Bluetti have spent over a decade of innovation creating new products for off-grid living, adventures and emergency power backup. They recently sent us their newest model, which is this, the Elite 300, which is the most compact 3 kilowatt hour portable power station, comparable in size to most 2 kilowatt hour power stations. It can easily power anything up to 2,400 watts with a powerlifting mode of up to 4,800 watts. So for anything that needs a high power surge to start up, say a motor or a heating element, this can handle it. Those devices like kettles and toasters. When this one's fully charged, it has 3 kilowatt hours of power stored in it, which can keep a standard refrigerator running for about 2 days, probably a little bit more. And then if you can keep it charged, that can keep it running. It can take in 1,200 watts of solar power, as well as an AC input, a DC input, or car charging, as all Bluetti products have. And with the AC input at 1,800 watts, it can charge to 100% in about 2 hours. It has 11 output ports, including a TT30R AC output and a 12 volt 30 amp DC output, meaning it can plug straight into an RV. One of the things I love about all our Bluetti products is that I can control them from an app in my phone, the Bluetti app. So for example, when we're driving home, I can turn on the AC, which can then turn on our air conditioner, so either making the room cold or hot depending on the time of year, and then we can arrive home to a more comfortable space, whether that's more cozy or nice and cool in the summer. So if you've been thinking about getting a backup for future potential power cuts, or having a portable power station to get power where you can't usually get it to, for example, if you need to hoover your car or use it to pump water out of your well to water your garden like we do, then I'll leave a link in the description below. And a big thank you to Bluetti for continuing to sponsor our channel and for keeping our whole home powered.
I don't know if you saw that then, but that was the first wasp's nest of the year. They're definitely on it early. One of those things you just kind of have to get used to here, really. They will make nests in absolutely anything. We decided that we are getting fed up of looking at the big, ugly, empty chicken coop, so we're going to deconstruct it, take it down. I think we both agree that we bit off more than we could chew with 11 chickens. We are down to 2, and it's a very good number, and they're very happy together. I think they actually bring less attention to themselves by being just 2, because we've not seen the fox around for ages. Although, actually, Diogo did bring the fox home with him the other day, or the other night, rather. Didn't you, Dodo? Dodo's fox friend. So I've got the fencing that we had for their run down already. So just cleaned up this area here. We need to put some pallets down so then we can put the fencing on top of the pallets so it doesn't get engulfed in grass. But it will no doubt get full of wasps' nests. But that's for after summer. So yeah, so now we're going to have a go at taking down the rest of the fencing and see how we get on. I don't think we'll have a sledgehammer party today. Maybe, you never know. We'll see how we get on. It is very warm. Baby. Walkies. Dogs want to go walkies. The walkies there. Right, everybody, we are gonna say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. We're gonna go and see if we can see the destruction that has been caused by all these felled eucalyptus.
With these chainsaws.
Yeah, they have. This little area that we live in has been completely changed the last few weeks. Crazy.
The dogs are so far ahead.
Yeah, the dogs are miles away. Oh, there goes shouting. Right, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Ciao ciao.
Tchauzinho.
See you next time.
Bye, Jack.
Bye, Jack.
Squeaky tree.
This is just rested on that wall, on that branch.
Oh, have they rebuilt this wall?
Yeah.
So there used to be a lot of eucalyptus trees here. So nice, the cold.